En þá komið að Søren Gade Hansen. Hann kennari í grunninn, starfaði í áratugi við það, fór svo í lögfræðinám og hefur starfað í barnaráðinu danska í 14 ár og var forvarnafulltrúi áður en það var og já, gjör svo vel, vær svo god.
Thank you. Well, not knowing what Margaret said. Oh, thank you, Margaret, for inviting. And I guess Margaret mentioned that, well, Edward, I think I need your help right now to get this going.
But you ran out to get a password.
Ah, he hasn't got the password. All right. Oh, well, I'll get on with it then. Thank you. Well, Margaret maybe mentioned I'm here as a substitute. I'm not a children's ombudsman. The chairman for the National Council of Children in Denmark was not able to be here today. She asked me to send you all her best regards, and she hoped that I was able to substitute her in a good manner. With me to watch over me and help me, I have my boss, my director of the Secretariat of the National Council for Children, Annette Juel-Lund, who's sitting right here. And I guess she'll assist me later on if you have questions which I fail to answer. As I told you, I'm not the ombudsman. I'm a senior advisor to the council, and being a lawyer, my presentation will not so much be interested in the current activities of the council, more interested in the legal basis of the council and the legal basis for the safeguarding of children's rights in Denmark. This is not merely because I'm a lawyer, more it is because the legal basis of safeguarding children's rights in Denmark has not been negotiated all through to the end by now. My presentation will concentrate on let's say implementation, incorporation, legislation, merely. But let me just give you an update of the situation. Come on. The Child Rights Convention was ratified by Denmark in 1991. It was never incorporated. Denmark has ratified the optional protocols, the two old ones, so to say, on armed children and on trafficking. And Denmark has in February, or was it? No, it was February 12 this year, signed the newest optional protocol on the convention, which is called in daily speak the OPIC, the optional protocol on individual complaints or individual communications protocol. Denmark is, I don't know what status this optional protocol has in the other countries, in Norway, Sweden, in the Nordic countries. Denmark has signed and is going to ratify this convention also. And I'll return to the OPIC because I think the OPIC will have huge impact on individual nations in the Nordic countries, but also throughout the whole world, actually, when it comes into effect. So this is what it's like in Denmark right now. Just after the ratification in 1991, a large group of NGOs, that would be Save the Children Denmark, UNICEF Denmark, Children's Welfare, which is called in Danish Børns Vilkår, which is one of the largest NGOs on safeguarding children's rights in Denmark, started lobbying for an ombudsman for children. As some of you will know and will be aware of, it's stated in the convention and stated several times by the committee of the convention that each member state should establish an organization, a monitoring mechanism, maybe an ombudsman institution, in order to get hold of the convention and in order to safeguard children's rights according to the convention. In Denmark, the government was not interested in having an ombudsman for children. At that time, it was minority center-left government, not interested in children's rights. I returned to which arguments the changing governments had on that issue. But when and as the lobbying NGO organizations started preparing their own ombudsman for children, well, obviously, a private organization can't establish an ombudsman, but they called it an ombudsman's institution. The previous government gave up on it and gave way not to an ombudsman for children, but to a national council for children. I could go into many details on this subject, but in a very short, the view of the government and of later governments has been this council, the ombudsman institution who is about to monitor the convention, shall not deal with one single child. It shall not handle child cases. It shall monitor that all children in Denmark are safeguarded. And as a sort of symbolic way to show this, the government chose a collective model, a council, not one single person. Well, you could agree or disagree on that point of view. It's been like this ever since. And that's been a main issue, a main number one hot issue in Danish child rights discussion ever since. And this is why I chose to tell you about this today, because things has changed since September. I'll come back to this. Things has changed a lot. To the better, we think. Let's see what happens. Well, the National Council was established, that is, in 1994. It took 3 years for the NGOs to make the government comply to this. As I told you, it's not an ombudsman. It's a council, 6 members and a chairperson. It's an independent institution with its own funding on the state finances. So far, it's just like the ombuds institutions in the rest of the Nordic countries. It has the legal basis of the council is on one leg Danish legislation, and on the other leg the CRC convention. Sorry. The tasks of the council would be the same as in the rest of the Nordic countries. The council advises the government. It includes the views of children in many, many ways. I'm not going into details with that. And it recommends amendments to legislation and administrative practice. And it's been like that ever since 1994. It was established as a test council. It was assessed and evaluated in 1997, made permanent in 1998, and since that we've had 5 chairpersons and several, I think we're counting into 50 or 60 members of the council until now, all being experts on child lives, children's lives, and welfare of different sort. Well, as you know, all member states of the convention are being examined every 5th year. Denmark was examined in 2011, 2 years after scheduled. So reporting process began already in 2008, but the committee is late, as always. So this examination was delayed for more than 2 years. Member states supply the committee with an official report, the official Danish report, and the National Council supplied with 2 sorts of reports. One, we could say the adult report, and the other one is the children's views report to the committee. The impact on the committee of the children's report is somewhat disappointing. But still, we felt it necessary in Denmark, and we made this report actually in a close cooperation with the NGOs. I don't know whether it's so in the other Nordic countries, but in Denmark, the NGOs who have interests in the convention have made a coalition, the NGO coalition it's called, and it's in close collaboration with the National Council for Children. They supplied the committee with their report, and the National Council supplied with our own report. The committee finalized its concluding observations after this reporting process and submitted these recommendations to the Danish government by February 4 last year, 2011. In our report, the report from the National Council to the United Nations Committee, stated in headlines some things that I would like to show you and comment upon. It's still the point of view from the National Council that the convention should be incorporated into Danish law, not just ratified, but incorporated. I won't go into any legal detail on this matter. I'll just return to it afterwards. The National Council also urged the government to see to that the rights of the child are systematically applied in children's lives in Denmark. Sort of a mantra for the whole discussion during the last many years is what we have in red on the slide here. Children do have rights, yet in practice they fail to receive justice, which leads us also, among other things, to this last comment and urge to the government through the committee that the Council urges the government to introduce legislative measures to establish an independent children's ombudsman operating directly beneath the Folketing, the Danish Parliament. Right now, the administrative basis for the Council is the Minister of Social Affairs and Integration. And we feel that true independence should be should lead to that the National Council is based under the Parliament, like the Parliamentary Ombudsman is. True independence is not what we are receiving right now, and I guess we are a little bit. Denmark is a little bit on the edge of the so-called Paris principles on this matter. Well, that's another long discussion. Still, the National Council has kept these recommendations as their main recommendations to the committee and thereby to the government. Returning to the government, successive and alternating Danish governments have claimed, and still claim actually, that incorporation of the convention is not an issue in Denmark. The first reason being that Denmark fully complies with the provisions of the convention, which should follow the ratification process. The other main argument is that unwritten rules in Danish legal basis contributes to ensuring interpretation of Danish legislation in conformity with the convention. Well, this could be said by any government in any country, but Danish, as I said, alternating Danish governments has had this as main argument against the incorporation of the convention. Also, and which I find very interesting, another and very important argument of the government has been that, and I quote from a government committee report, several of the provisions of the convention are not apt to incorporation because the convention contains several vaguely worded provisions. That is, you can't use the convention as an act or as legislation. You can't act according to this because it's too vaguely worded. you don't, the judge would not never know what to do acting on this. I've mentioned this to members of the committee of the convention, and they all laugh. But I think that if you remember that the OPIC, the optional protocol on individual complaints, is now being established, I think that would be an effective argument for incorporating the convention in Denmark, actually. So far, back to the concluding observations from the committee last year. Very short. I'm running out of time, am I, or what? I'll hurry up. Were that the convention is poorly implemented in Danish law due to no full incorporation, that there is not a legislative framework covering the full scope of the convention in Denmark, and addressing this question about the ombudsman, there is no independent mechanism to monitor the implementation. Well, that was a hard one on the government. Also, on the other hand, the committee noted and stated that Denmark has made several steps forward in order to safeguard children's rights. These were not the only recommendations or comments from the committee. Of course, I've chosen them out carefully to enlighten my point of view. I won't tie with any long lists of shortcomings or fails or steps forward. I'll just show you that the committee in Geneva is very interested in this thing also. Well, following to this, the committee recommends a rights-based Child's Act. This was a quite new terminology in Denmark. We were many readers who said, what is going on? Are we going to have a comprehensive child legislation now? Are children going to be separated from the rest of the citizens? Or what is going on? But I think we found out. I think Sweden has a Child Act. Sweden has a national strategy on children's rights. Correct, Frederik?
Not an act, but a strategy.
No, a strategy, a national strategy on on children's rights. I think that's what the committee means. And we're many in Denmark who think the same. The committee recommends that the ombudsman system takes full account of the convention and establishes a transparent and so on facility to monitor the convention. Well, following to the lack of a monitoring mechanism, this would be a understandable recommendation. So, these were the main things. As some of you will know, Denmark has had a new government. Last September, we had a general election. We changed from a center-right government to a center-left government. The center-left government has, in its political manifesto, stated that it wants to enhance and safeguard the rights of all human beings in Denmark. Not just children, also children, but all people in Denmark should have safeguarded their rights better. So after 10 years of governing, supported by a very strong party who's very much opposed to, in a position to international conventions, we now have quite another attitude, quite another approach to this problem in Denmark. It has already led to changes in a positive way. I'll finish my show shortly after this. The government has established or is establishing an expert committee. Yep. And the government wants to enhance and strengthen children's rights, doing so by establishing a new children's office under the parliamentary ombudsman, who should be better apt to receive children's complaints. The ombudsman has all the time been able to receive children, yet no children have been there, because they don't know how to get there. Now the ombudsman, the parliamentary ombudsman, will establish a child office, a children's office, This is one change. The government has strengthened the mandate of the National Council and increased our funding. And the government, this and the former government, has decided to increase funding to children's welfare, the Children's Helpline telephone, which receives about 25,000 calls from children every year. And these three legs are the most important legs in the new stool of safeguarding children's rights in Denmark. This should be the new system, this new structure in Denmark. Being aware of that my time is running out, I won't go into any more details with it. I'll just show you this in order to wake you up. Maybe some of you know Storm P, famous Danish humorist, cartoonist, and he was famous for his contraptions, weird mechanisms, able to address several problems maybe, or solving problems that you didn't know were there. This one, the text says, it's clearly a waste of water to use an umbrella unless you use this apparatus. It collects water, it functions as a safe cigar extinguisher, and provides a pleasant foot bath. It's easy to transport and you'll never miss your umbrella. The Minister of Social Affairs, who is the one responsible for the convention in Denmark, called this new organization, this new strategy, a Storm P contraption. Well, we were some who were looking somewhat disturbed at her. Well, is this true? A minister calling it a contraption? And not to mention a Storm P contraption. Well, we'll see if it works. The NGOs in Denmark are not satisfied with this contraption, with this new structure. The NGOs still miss an ombudsman, a face to children, one who can stand up and talk directly for children. We're not able to comply with that. We'll try to make it work with this new system. Personally, I think this is a great challenge, and I think Council and a new chairman will address this problem. And I know that the parliamentary ombudsman in Denmark, who's newly appointed, is very interested in this new structure, and is very interested, actually, also personally, in the welfare of Danish children. So I'm not worried, but let's see if we can convince the NGOs. And just turning back to the OPIC thing, personally, I believe this is one of the major steps forward for children's rights as a global issue and also as a national issue. Danish human rights experts have called the OPIC a paper tiger, that it will have no significance. But I think that when it comes to case law, and the committee will establish this committee who will receive children's complaints, this will get an impact nationally, locally. The British will not be able to allow the punishment, the physical punishment, corporal punishment of children anymore when a complaints mechanism in Geneva has stated that punishing children corporally is against the convention. So, okay, I'll cut it off. You can read more the National Council there.